Hello HipKit friends, I have a new video for you today featuring the beautiful February 22 HipKits, which had a lot of Happy Heart from Pink Fresh and also some beautiful HipKit Club exclusives. So today I am going to focus on the Love Always clear stickers because I think they're beautiful and they're such fresh and sweet colours, which really matches my theme for this page. Okay, so the first thing that I did is that I decided I really wanted some strips across the top, so I've cut some papers into varying sizes and I've put them down on here, but I actually change things around a bit when I stick them down because I couldn't remember what I'd done in the first place. So the first paper that I used was I Heart You by HipKit Club, and that's the script. And then on the other side of that paper, I really also love the hearts. So that's the one that is further down. I've also used a few of the cardstocks from HipKit Club. So the ones I've used here, the turquoisey colour is Limesicle, the light pink is Bubblegum, and the dark pink is Wild Cherry. So I just kind of played around with this until I had something that I thought I liked. Going from the top, and then I'm going to work my way down to the bottom and get less as we go towards the bottom of the page. I also used a little bit of the Keep Growing, which is the blue strip there. I wanted to have I really like the sewing parts of the clear stickers, and I thought I'm going to use those, but I still want to actually do some actual sewing on my page as well. So rather than hand sewing this time though, I used my machine, so you'll see that coming up too. But I liked that the frames and things on these stickers were also like made of sewing, so yeah, so I think it all ties together really nicely. It's funny, I'm not really a make it perfect sort of person when it comes to keeping things straight and that, but I think when you're doing this sort of page where you've got lots of horizontal strips of paper, that you need to make it right. So the old T-square came quite handy this time. I took the page away then and used the sewing machine, and you can see I did a combination of straight stitch and zigzag stitch. This is a pretty old photo of my daughter and her best friend, but I thought it was about time that I got it recorded. They had these beautiful Bradford dolls that looked like real babies, and they used to take them out to the shopping malls and people would stop them and ask them what they were doing, their little brothers and sisters. So so it was they're really cute dolls. So anyway, so I made sure my photo had a white border. I like white borders around my photos. And then I've used some of the lighter pink cardstock to back the photo. I've popped it up just actually on a piece of chipboard in between, just to get a bit of depth in there. And I like to also scrunch up the sides of my layers to give them extra depth. I used 3 of the round frames on the page, getting smaller as I went down the page, and I really like the look of that. I'm going to partially cover the top one with my photos, so the flow of the page will come down mostly from the left into the center and then carry on down to the bottom. I also used some of the straight stitching zigzag lines across the top there, and I don't know if I've done it at this stage, but I've also put some down on the bottom left. I'm sorry, my camera's cut off a little bit of the page, so I you will get to see that, but it might not be for a little bit yet. And I added one of the little Pink Fresh circular frames to keep the circle theme going. And I knew what my title was going to be. Oh no, look, I'm just adding on the extra zigzag down the bottom too now. I also had some straight stitching across the bottom of the page. And yes, my title was going to be Hello Sweetheart. So out came the T-square again, and just to have a look, and of course that wasn't straight, so I had to peel it up and reposition it again. I had a look at using these beautiful ombre pink letters, but it didn't really work with what I wanted to do. So I've used the little Pink Fresh letters, and I've made a mix of them using similar tones to the word sweet and mixed it up. So it's kind of, I didn't want the same colour directly underneath, so we've got sweethearts there now. I also like these little heart shape like lollies that they had there, so I thought I might use one of them somewhere. So I thought the orange one was perfect just underneath there. I've also used the little chipboard from, I think came from the frame set on the bottom frame. My next thing was that I wanted to start embellishing a bit more, so we cut out the circles from the Happy Heart paper, and they are to go on the top of the page. I also then introduced a little of the cantaloupe paper, and I wanted to bring another portion of a circle up the top, and perhaps a smaller part circled also down the bottom, so that was going to go underneath these ones. So I'd already done the sewing across the top, so I had to sew these ones separately, so I did that and then added them to the top. I popped up the two circles. The dies I used to do that are the Hip Kit Club Essentials circles. They're great. I thought at this stage I wanted to add a little bit more texture to my page, and while I had the die cut machine out, I cut a whole lot of hearts from the kaleidoscope dies that were available the previous month, and I was going to make them 3D, so you can see that I have sewn through one layer of each of them, and then I stuck them onto a piece of paper just to, while I was keeping it stable for sewing. I used two of one colour, and then that was the opposite to the one that had the sewing through it. The one that was the sewing was to go on the I'm going to apologise for here, my page slipped down and I hadn't realised, and you won't be able to see everything that I added, but you will get to see it of course in the final close-ups and the finished one. I was just adding a few more little titivations and trying to decide where I was going to put the 3D hearts, so I ended up with two up there and one down in the pink frame, plus it took a bit of time to try and decide where to put the one that was up on the top left. It's not going to stay where it was originally. Time to add a few embellishments now. Yay, that's the fun part. So I put some extra little pieces of paper because we can't just have one layer on a photo. I've also cut off part of one of the square frames and tucked that in underneath as well. At the same time as I cut the hearts, I also cut the little hello and out of the, I think it was out of the bubble gum. No, it was the wild cherry cardstock, and I also tucked that in by the sweet. I really like the little chipboard circle, keeping with that circle theme, so we tucked that in partly over one of the frames, and also wanted to add a little bit more depth, so I looked at some of the cardstock stickers and I was thinking that I would pop some of them up with foam tape too. I really like the little tag that says happy little moments, and I just tucked it in there, but I don't think it actually stays there. In fact, no, it doesn't, but I think I'll leave it there for a little bit while I fuss around with the bottom. The butterflies in this Pink Fresh collection are just beautiful, so I just knew from the start that there were going to be some of those ending up on this page, and I was just going through the ephemera as well. You can see it got colder, so I had to go and put my jersey on, my fluffy jersey, so you'll see a bit of that as I'm doing the last few touches. There wasn't the exact size of butterfly I wanted, so I went back and I fussy cut some more out of the Beautiful Moments paper, the Pink Fresh paper. The final little 3D heart had found its home, and then I was just trying to think where I was going to put them together, and it does end up on my page but not over the photo. Just while I'm putting a few more little bits of ephemera on there, just a reminder to hop over to the member forum on Facebook. There's a lot of inspiration in there, and there'll be links to all the YouTube videos, there's links to the blog, and also otherwise there's Instagram. You can find some great reels on Instagram from Hip Kit Club as well. You can join in with the weekly fun each Friday, and there's always some sort of challenge. You can be in to win $10 to spend on your next kit or extras. Of course I had to add some puffy stickers because not many of my layouts don't have puffy stickers on them. They're just another thing that gives it so much texture. So this time I just used the little pot plant and the wee orange tag that says Small Joys. some enamel dots to continue on with the circular theme. I put the larger ones at the top, and towards the bottom they got smaller. So the last thing now was to add a little bit of a few taps of Vibes Sweetheart, and off camera I went and actually also added a tiny little bit of black endearing just to bring a little bit more, particularly the black towards the bottom of the page, as there was the black and white at the top. And I felt for the same reason that I could add the journaling in black, and there was a perfect spot for that inside one of those frames. Please give me a thumbs up if you like this video. We'd love to have you as a subscriber, and I love to read your comments, so if you leave one I will definitely reply, and we'll see you next time.